Hi everyone, welcome. It's Evelyn from Twin Flames 3344. I would stick around if I were you. The first half of the read message is just pretty unbelievably beautiful. I do have Divine Masculine Twin Flame read. That's what I'll start with. And I did pull 12 cards again, so we'll do that in the second half of the read. And I'm going to get right into it because there's a lot to cover here. It is August 22nd, 2019. 22 is the Fool energy. And the Fool, in a lot of decks, the Fool is the 0 card, but for me it's not. It's the 22, because the Fool is human, and 0 for me is source energy coming in. So the Fool is, for me, is like, you know, a kid who's graduated high school. They're still open-hearted and free, but yet they're an adult, which the Fool is. And in the numerology book, the Divine Triangle, the Fool is very much 22 as well. So I definitely agree with those energies. The 22 is a 4, so that is of grounding, stability, and the root chakra issues. All right, safety and stability. And the Fool is very balanced in that way, right? Because they have an open heart and they're ready to leap at a moment's notice, no matter what. They're not afraid of anything. The day adds up to 42, which is a 6. 42 is the 2 of Cups, and the 6, of course, is about love, family, and community. And the 42 specifically of 6 is about one-on-one relationships. So we have the Fool in love, and the 2 of Cups today. And what a Fool will do for love. Also, as I went onto my iPad today, this morning, dolphins came up in the headline. I don't want to repeat the headline because it was just more negative news, but dolphins were definitely coming up for a reason. And I don't know if we go into Virgo today or tomorrow. I don't know when the switchover was from Leo to Virgo, but we're definitely getting into that Virgo energy now of, you know, more balanced, practical things as opposed to Leo, which is all more about fun and being out there. So let's see here. I just want to make sure I didn't miss anything up here in my notes. I did, before, when I was starting the read and I sat down, I all of a sudden got a stomach ache, and that was at 10:56, and I'm East Coast for anyone who might have experienced something similar to that. And I haven't gotten a stomach ache in a long time. And I did have something yesterday that maybe could have caused a stomach ache, or maybe something I ate, who knows. But I definitely had a really bad stomach ache in my stomach. So I spent some time feeling into it to let it release, and it worked its way down to my lower stomach and my intestines and then released. And it didn't take long, but it's just a reminder to you guys too, whenever you have something that's bothering you, stop and do a little meditation of focusing your intent on where your body's asking you to and asking it what it needs to feel loved. So then I was noticing some of the coding coming through when I was laying down my read. So it does come up in the coding, but THI was coming up when I cut and dealt the main read from the Sirius Darcy deck, and that was at 11:07, by the way. So from that, I was getting Thai, and it's interesting because my first thought when I think of Thai is Thailand or Thai food, something like that. But when I looked up the acronym for THI, there wasn't anything about Thai at all in that. So the first thing I was getting up here was Pi was coming up with the TT, high to the nth degree, and T, which is about toggling up for me. So Pi is about the Pi with the line through it, so centering your masculine and feminine, but not in the dance yet. Like Pi is the first step. And then the 8's more of the where you're balanced and doing the dance between your masculine and feminine. Pi is more just about centering yourself. So Pi and centering yourself, high in that high vibration to the nth degree, and then T, reminder to toggle up and do your meditation. Also 11:16, as I was getting that sometimes life is messy, and that was when I was dealing out the Tarot of Sexual Magic. The Moon, the King of Wands, the Queen of Pentacles, and the Lovers. And the Lovers were coming up reversed today. That nature is just messy. That's the nature of nature, is messy. So to let it be, because in its messiness, it becomes perfect. Think of all the perfect formations that nature makes, you know, from an aerial view. It's just a lot grander than we are as a single human being. So then I was still putting the cards out, 1122, the Queen of Wands reversed came out with the Tower, and the Strength card reversed. They literally flipped out of the deck. And then I was guided to stop the shuffle. Queen of Wands reversed with the Tower and the Strength card reversed. So that's someone definitely flipping out and being out of control. Then I was getting, my stomach ache was clearing at that point in 1123, which is 1, 2, 3, and the 23 energy going from the Fool to the King of Wands is also in the read today, but not in the main deck reads. But he is significant here. I was getting that truth is love. All right, so when we're dealing with truth and love, well, the truth is love. So remember that truth can be from many different perspectives. So the ultimate truth is just love. So if you're being in your unloving, truthful self, that's not love. So no truth is truth unless there's love with it. Because when it comes to the end, we are just love. So no matter how our pride's been hurt, we are all still just about love. We lash out when we've been hurt, but what do we really want? We really want peace with that person because we wouldn't even been bothering with them in the first place if we didn't love them and didn't want to spend time with them. So the masculine read was done at 1132. So that's the journey card, the 6 of Wands, the journeyman. The 32 is a 5 of expansion, change, freedom. The 11 is justice. And the major arcana were the higher self, which is like the high priestess, reflection like the hermit, tower, and then shadow, which is like the death card. That was after the read. 2 pentacles, 3 wands, which was the most of all of the suits, 1 cup and 2 swords, so mostly wands, but not too badly balanced, only 1 cup though. The Knight of Wands came up and the Knight of Swords within the read, the Knight of Wands and a King of Swords. And by the way, they were both coming up reversed today. After the read, the Knight of Cups came up, who was also reversed, so there's a lot of negative masculine energy. Feminines were not in negative energy today. The masculines were. So that's the masculine within the feminine as well. So remember that. The number codes, we had triple 3s come up before the read. Not in the main part of the read, but right in a row, 333. And I'll show you that when I show you those cards. We had double 6s and double 10s as well coming up after the read. The 6s were in the read, but the 10s were after the read. And then the code line was all about love, just simply love today. And you're going to love the message that comes up here, which is really, really beautiful. And it just amazes me the things that Spirit just brings through. It's just, no matter how many times I do this, I'm just always amazed. And then maybe I'm amazed at the way you love me all the time. It's just coming up now. The code line added up to 17, which is the star, healing, having your dreams come true, looking up at the stars at night. 7, 6, and 4 were the numbers that went into 17. And regarding that code line, had to do with that tie came up, the THI with the T, which for me is toggling upward, so grounding to the etheric realms as opposed to grounding to Gaia. For the masculine, right? Because the masculines are naturally grounded already for 3D. They need to toggle up more and do more meditation or go out for a walk, go out in the woods, whatever it is. Salt baths even, to clear themselves. But Thai, maybe just a Mai Tai or going out for Thai food. Maybe a masculine really likes Thai food. And then the Knight or Knights of the 7 come up. So 7 Knights could be significant here, as well as the feminine within the masculine, because for me that's 7, and also the Chariot energy of ascending. Then REI, so the store REI was coming up, which has to do with winter sports and stuff like that. So that was coming up. I don't know why in the middle of summer, but for somewhere else where it is cold, that might be coming up for some, or just planning a trip for the winter or in the fall. So then with REI came up Rus, not a ruse, but a Rus, R-E-U-S, which will come up in a minute, which has to do with defendant in Roman court. But the number 6 also came up, the higher self, and the 4, the emperor. 6 is the lovers, 4 is the emperor, and then the H, which is silent, coming up here. 8 is the number 8. H is the number 8. And for me, I don't know if you remember this, but it's if you take 2 chairs or 2 4s upside down and put them together, it makes an H, right? So it has to do with 2 people coming together on the same page. the 8 is the balanced integration of the masculine and feminine, the dance within. And then we have HT here for me, that's height. But the fact that the H was silent and suffering in silence with the 8, because that's inner strength, was also coming up here, and all regarding love. So I will get into more meanings from that code line in a minute, but I did go online to get some stuff, so I want to run through that really quick. But again, the pi and the high vibration, which has been coming up a lot in the beginning of the code line, the past months actually. So pi, the centeredness of the high vibration to the nth degree, the I am presence, the good knight, right? The Knights Templar, the Knights, or the Round Table, whoever the knight is, the knight in shining armor, the dark knight, whatever it is, the masculines, the good knight, but also going into that good knight, the feminine within the masculine, the reference to the lovers and their humanness and their higher self, to combine the two at the height of love, or for the height of love. Okay, and again, the REI was coming up. So when I went online for Thai, the THI, as well as the whole code line. So there's a restaurant called THI. Thai's restaurant, it's in Evergreen, which is a line from my Christo Sophia song, but also Evergreen, just being green, right? Evergreen Park, Illinois. The address is 9144. So the 9 of the compassion, the 1 of the magician, of the I am presence, and then the 44, the mastering, grounding, and integrating. And it was on South Kedzie Avenue, Kedzie, in case anyone's interested, 60805. And then the acronym, I just was looking up that for the THI, and was getting Texas Heart Institute, which I love that it brought up Heart Institute, Tissue Harmonic Imaging, Temperature Humidity Index, Traumatic Head Injury, the Humane Interface, so again, humanity was coming up here, the Hispanic Institute, I'm probably not going to say this right, but the islands, Taknahascoli Islands, I'm not sure how it's pronounced, but that's what it is, Traffic Homicide Investigator, and then Target Hazard Index. A lot of acronyms came up, but those are the ones that I was resonating with. And that's from freedictionary.com, acronyms, the freedictionary.com. And then THI literally means to say, to think, to imagine, to consider, to believe, to suppose, inflection. Also, it came up with THI achievematrix.com. THI.achievematrix.com came up, SNF sign in. Note, this system is restricted to authorized users. Individuals who attempt unauthorized access will be prosecuted. All right, so here we go with mistrust, okay, and protection and the need for all of that, which all comes from a basis of not trusting each other. THI.com came up as the tech hackers, again, so mistrust of wrongdoing. Software Solutions, it is a software solution company. And then Dr. Tai T. Tran came up, so THI.T. Tran, DO, dermatologist in the Villages in Florida. And that was from caredash.com. And then something came up, TH versus HT, and the pronunciation in English, the differences. You know, as an example, length versus height and how they're pronounced with HT and TH. That height can be like the GH, where that's silent, which also is coming up in reference to the code line of the H, right? Suffering in silence. But also it was really funny because with the silence, yacht was coming up as an exception to the rule, yacht. So someone might be going out on a yacht. Sounds of the tongue between the teeth or biting lower lip are hardest for Asians coming up in the Asian language, right? Because they speak very differently than the English do. TH will have a sound of a water-soaked object falling on the ground, someone said. Thumb, thumb, as opposed to HT, which will have a sound of a stick hitting a ball. Tack, tack on the door. And that was from EnglishStackExchange.com. And also the ones right before this from the definition of THI through the TH versus HT were from en.wiktionary.org. So THI is also the hotel inventory, And then another weird header came up. I'm not going to read the whole thing, but it came from University of Oregon, which my parents used to live right by one of the campuses for University of Oregon. But it said 4 years ago. It was speaking like an Asian speaking English because it wasn't complete sentences, and you know how it does that sometimes in the headers. But 4 years ago, instead of saying 4 years ago, was coming up. So again, there's some kind of translation of language and cultures coming up here. But 7 o'clock was coming up as well as 44. So again, the numbers. East 31st Street. Okay, and Southeast has been coming up a lot the past week or so. And then 31 is that 5 of Wands, the expansion energy of conflict, competition, whatever it is. And duty came up in that header as well. But anyway, that was from Oregon News.oregon.edu. And then the full text of Aurelia Louise Jones and the 7 Sacred Flames came up again, which that came up recently in headers, and I don't usually get that at all. And that was from archive.org/stream. So coming up back to the code line again, toggle up Thailand. Night 7 or 7 nights, the good chariot or chariot ascension, the feminine within the masculine, toggling up, and Thailand had something to do with this. And again, we have Thai and land is significant here as we get into the read. So a tie to the land, right? You're tied to nature. So that's just coming up now. With reference to 60, which is 6 of Swords, which can be finding peace, and the higher self, and then the 4 of the Emperor, or grounding and being stable. So again, referencing the difference between the masculine and the feminine, the masculine of the root chakra and stability and grounding, and then the feminine toggling upward, and the third eye and the etheric realms. But either way, finding peace together within yourself with both parts of yourself. So referencing that, but also the REI coming up again as I'm losing my voice. Lovers buying ski equipment. So definitely someone is, because they need to speak their truth to someone. I love that my voice is totally going. So someone planning a ski trip with REI, and also somebody's dealing with high school reunions right now because that came up several times. So REI also comes up as the plural of Rus, which is, Rus is defined as Roman civil and in canon law, fact, defendant as opposed to actor. All right, so it has to do with law, being the defendant or being defensive, and that was coming from Merriam-Webster Dictionary. And that was at 1221, so that was important. Again, REI is the plural of Rus, R-E-U-S. Defendant. So the divine masculine, divine feminine, centered. And I was getting high time, like it's high time, and also tithing was coming up. The I am, night 7, or 7 nights, whether it's 7 nights or 7, guys who are knights. Also the reference to finding peace in the divine masculine's higher self for an out-of-body experience, and that will reference physical union, okay? So back to the present was coming up with the Emperor for the height of love, and that's definitely reunion in Heros Gamos. So there's a lot of stuff coming up about that today as we go onward here. And I can't wait to read you guys all this stuff because it's just so beautiful. So as I turned the page, it was 12:25. 12 is the Hangman, 25 is that Knight of Wands. Now in the beginning of the read, in the underlying energy, the Knight of Wands was upright in the underlying energy there at the top star. But the main read, the Knight of Wands, was reversed. So just keep that in mind as we go here. All right, so we had REI, plural of Rus, the defendant versus the actor. 6 crystals backed by 3 threes, like I told you here, and I'm going to show you now that. So the 3 of orbs, here's the 6 of crystals or pentacles, and then we have 3 of orbs, the 3 of crystals or pentacles, and the 3 of chalices or cups here. 3, 3, 3, and then the 6 of crystals on top. So the 6 crystals backed by the 3 threes. 3 orbs, 3 crystals, 3 chalices, or pentacles and cups. Missing the 3 of Wands, right? So we had all 3 threes except the 3 of Wands. So don't forget to look at what's missing, the space between. Because we haven't talked about the space between lately. The missing Three of Wands, which is the present moment. Very important today. 369, 3D, 4D, 5D, and then the 6D was coming up as a significant focus today, which is being called the sweet spot. And also 369, then 12 for 60. 12 is the hangman. It is the wisdom to be in the sweet spot, the 6D, above it all. When balancing scales at home, without a court or a judge or a mediator, hip hip hooray was coming up. 3 cheers. Tie, tie, tie. I. Hit, high, tithe. And then Thoth was coming up, haha, like making a joke. So it's saying, instead of saying 3 cheers, it's 3 ties, 3 eyes, the I am presence, to hit the high vibrations and tithe, right? Give of yourself. It's always about loving yourself first. It's like tithing to I, tithe to you, and stay in your high vibration. Toggle upward, divine masculine, to the etheric realms more. 3 cheers. So that not having to do with the show cheers and drinking, as opposed to 3, 6, 9, and 12 going upward in ascension and vibration. And so remember that Thoth is hanging around with his little humor, which was cracking me up today, actually. So when we talk about REI, again, the definitions were to say, think, imagine, consider, believe, I suppose. And then inflection was coming up as a definition as well. Well, if you change infection, right, when the masculine's infected with something, whether it's physical or emotional or in their auric bodies, if you change infection to inflection, the only thing you have to do that is add L, or love. And remember, L is also Elohim. The key here is the L, which is the wrench that I brought up the other day or yesterday. I can't remember. But the little keys that you always get when you put furniture together, instead of a full wrench, you get the little L wrench or the Allen key. So that was coming up today. Before I go on, I want to just give you what I was getting. Just Elohim and Seraphim, just to define the differences. Elohim is as opposed to the gods, and the Seraphim, the angels. So Elohim is related to the highest of gods and Yahweh, and then the Seraphim of different levels of different angels from the Bible. So when I was out yesterday, I saw a code that was E.LS18-E. So, and I was staring at it for a long time because I was sitting right in front of it. So I was wondering, okay, what am I supposed to get from this? And when I put that number specifically into the system, it was coming up with woofers and music equipment, all right, which is good because music, we need to listen to that. And also a battery for emergy light. So emergency light. All right, so energy and light. It was really cool that they came up. But it's going to come up again. For me, when I was just looking at it, it was coming up as the feminine and the karmic, and the light and the shadow, and the 18, of course, is the moon, has to do with the false light. And then LS, for me, was coming up as the dark and the light because of Lu and Sophia, of the moon. So it was very interesting here how it plays into the read. Also, a website I ended up on, outofthisworld.com, about Elohim. It just described Elohim of the great central sun, mind, radiance of primordial creator, Yahweh, source, and Ra. And then the Anu and the Dracu are the AI, the Orion Wars. So I didn't go into anything more from that website, but I just wanted to bring that website up in case you wanted to check it out. And then we get back to the read. So, say, think, imagine, consider, believe, I suppose, inflection. So to change from infection to inflection, all we do is add L, or love, Elohim. The key here being the L, the wrench. The thing that goes inside the hole, haha, that's Thoth coming up, to unlock it. but listen closely. I mean, it's going to be funny and that kind of stuff, and sexual innuendos and all that, but this is very important. So again, the change of infection to inflection, you just add the L, that key of love. The key of the L, the wrench, the thing that goes inside the hole to unlock. The divine feminine enters divine masculine from within. The divine masculine enters the divine feminine from without. L is the God versus S of the angels. So the Elohim and the Lu of versus the angels of the Seraphim and the Sophia. Thus two keys. The Allen wrench, all Jesus. Elohim within you versus the Seraphim of the angels. Thus, two keys. I'm going to say this again. Allen is all EN. EN for me is code Jesus. Thus, two keys. Allen, all Jesus, or Elohim and Jesus, Yahweh. The W from the wrench is the WW of the wounded warrior. That is the wrench, the thorn. The bacteria that I always reference that goes into the clam or the oyster, going from the 3D bacteria to the 5D of more purity of thought and intent. And remember that bacteria getting into the clam is the same thing as a masculine or a male going into a female and creating a baby. The pearl is the same thing as the baby, right? So then Pillar of Pi was coming up online, and some other stuff about pillars and pi. Also a post of Niagara on the Lake Hotel Spa in Ontario came up, as well as Penn State U of Pi, Chi, Theta, and pillars. Their three-pillar approach of professional, philanthropy, and brotherhood. The fifth pillar, PHI Inc., from www.avfoil.com, and an unwavering commitment by PHI to do whatever is right and best for each employee. And then it was also coming up as the Department of Health and Human Services, PHI. So it's also Michael Pillar is coming up because he needs to get a little bit of a plug today. Michael Pillar was a scriptwriter and producer on Star Trek, who's passed now, and that was from Compatoid.com. Of height and distance was coming up, so there's mathematical equations, and also a triangle, so just a triangle, but that was like over on an angle, like if it were in a storm and the triangle were being blown over, the pyramid. A mathematical equation with A, B, C, and D, and the height, and then the angles of each angle if you put a line down the middle from the top of the pyramid to the middle of the bottom. And I'm sure for math people it's something very obvious, but that's not my specialty. But that drawing or diagram was coming up, so that was important about something. And it was bringing back information about the code that I had seen, the ELS18 and the E, and then again, that the Elohim are senior to the Seraphim of the angels. So, and it was also referencing from that site that you guys are the Elohim, you are the gods, it's all within you. You know, you are all pieces of the source love, the God energy, the Elohim. Also an airport in Welsh, Louisiana came up. And also the UK. So Welsh and UK were coming up. West Yorkshire. There's a postal code there. That's LS18. Also is 4 kilometers southeast of Eden and contains other towns that it contains. And then 7 kilometers northwest of Leeds. LS18 is a postal code there. So again, European things were coming up. You know, English-based countries. And then the Divine Masculine being that the Divine Masculine is the thorn, the bacteria that gets into the clam or the oyster. So Divine Masculine is the thorn in the oyster or clam, and the pearl is the baby, which I just referenced as masculine and feminine coming together sexually to make a baby. It's the same thing with the bacteria or the thorn getting into the clam. The divine feminine makes it hard to get in, but the divine masculine uses persistence to penetrate. The divine feminine penetrates the divine masculine throat chakra, or in other words, their mouth. The divine masculine penetrates the sacral, the vaginal connection. So the root, there's a root to heart connection, there's a sacral to throat connection, and a solar plexus to third eye connection. And then the crown being above the rest connection, all right? And that has to do with rest and sleep and how we connect from our crown at that time. And this is all just stuff that I'm getting downloaded, okay? So then I drew a triangle because I got Delta Dawn, especially from the drawing that I received online, that mathematical equation. Delta Dawn came up. So that triangle of Delta, which when I drew it looked like a Hershey's kiss, at dawn looked like a vortex, the eye of the storm, or a hurricane, the whirlwind, the tornado, the cyclone, or the twister. A kiss at dawn, the calm before the storm. And then I noticed that calm is clam, but just with the letters twisted around, right? So when it comes down to it, the clam is the masculine in his throat chakra clammed up, and the feminine is the oyster, okay? Because that's the vaginal connection. The masculine is the mouth and throat chakra connection. The feminine is the sacral vaginal connection, both portals, okay? So this goes in even more detailed. So a kiss at dawn and the calm before the storm references the clam, right? That's more innocent at dawn. But a kiss at dusk is the E story. The oyster literally transfers into E story, the storm where history originated from. So again, we have E story and his story. E story is oyster, literally the word, with the letters switched around. That is the storm. So we go from the kiss at dawn of the clam of the masculine and the throat chakra before the storm, the calm before the storm, and then we have the kiss at dusk, which is the storm. The E story, like story at 11, the oyster E story, the storm, where history or his story originated from. That he is the trigger, he is the thorn. This is E's story, the divine feminine story. His lips are sealed with her chastity belt. He knows if he opens his mouth, and I'm getting connection now, he knows if he opens his mouth that his heart will fall out. If she opens her legs, the fallout of a baby made. So Lou versus Sophia, because until the divine masculine is with the divine feminine, he is Lou. But once consummating their marriage, he becomes El, the Elohim, the God, the Yahweh, the Christos, Sophia, the Christed energy, the hero's gamos, or the hero's game. And he is, and you know, both the feminine and masculine are considered the wounded warriors. So again, the Lu of the fallen angel versus the Sophia of the seraphim angels, because until the divine masculine is with the divine feminine, he is considered Lu in his shadow aspect, but once consummating their marriage, their divine marriage, he becomes the El of the Elohim, the God, the Yahweh, the Christos Sophia, the Christed energy, the hero's gamos, the hero's game. All right, so I hope you guys got all that. As we continue, I turn the page, 3 cheers, 3 cups. Heartbreak and separation, co-creation and union of love. The Elohim and the seraphim, the L and the S. And then I was getting Elohim as ELO, him, and seraphim as SERAP, him. So Elohim comes up as ELO, him, so electric light orchestra and their songs, which has to do with lightning rod, electric light orchestra, lightning rod. Rod is the masculine, the light, the everythingness. The seraphim then comes up as Sophia's era, Sophie's choice, who is thunderous song, or sound, or nothingness. She is the staff. So we get the rod and staff union here. And do, re, mi, fa, sol, la, ti, do is coming up as well. But the P in the seraphim comes up as the human, the zero of the human embodiment, grounded. When you have that line going straight down, it's grounding into the 3D or into Gaia or Earth. S is Sophia. ERA is era, right? So it's Sophie's era, Sophie's choice. Thunderous song, the staff. The feminine is the sound and the nothingness. The masculine is the light and the everythingness of the Elohim energy, right? So that's how they're traditionally looked at. The masculine energy is the God and the angel energy is the feminine. But as you know, you have both masculine and feminine within. But this is the rod and staff traditional union. The 3 cheers and the 3 of cups, as I all just went into with you guys. Later comes, 3 cheers, 3 cups, heartbreak and separation, co-creation and union and love. Later comes the presence, the 3 of wands, being present, but also the presence. The offer of a new life, for an offer of love and tough love of schooling the goose. The Sphinx, the lioness, the Syrian origins, the schools of the birdman, the Thoth, who talks a lot, because story is history, his story, because story is his story. The feminine story is history. And I was getting major connection at some of these places. I can't tell you. That was confirmation there. Some of this stuff was like, wow. So the Sphinx lioness, the Syrian origins, I'm going to say this again, the Syrian origins, school the birdman, Thoth, who talks a lot. He's representing the divine masculine because story is his story. He is nothing without her, and yet she is nothingness without him. Elohim. As I'm getting confirmation again. The Ace of Pentacles, the Ace of Cups, and the Wheel of Fortune all came up together, as you see right in front of you to the left there, on that 6 of Pentacles. We never get 3 majors like that. And they're not major arcana, but they're 2 aces and the Wheel of Fortune. You can't do better than that. That's like the Ace of Pentacles, the Ace of Cups, and the Wheel of Fortune on the 6 of Pentacles, sharing in a balanced way, except that the 6 of Pentacles was reversed energy today. But for here, this message, 3 cheers, hip hip hooray, and then I was getting hoorah also coming up as who? Ra? So this is the masculine saying hoorah, hip hip hooray, 3 cheers, hip to hip, 1 chair, and googly eyes, and ray. The 8, the I, and the P is hip. H is 8, I, the lowercase I, and then the P that I just described to you is the human embodiment of source energy grounded to the earth. Centered divine masculine and divine feminine in the dance within, because that's pi within. Centered chakra system with the lowercase I that's on point, and the human grounded, hip to hip, hooray. The dance of 2 dancing, and then 2 humans with googly eyes. Trance-like, really. The ray of light, Ra, at the Y in the road. So ray is Ra plus Y. Ra at the Y in the road. The point of entry. The entry point. Ground 0. The etheric altar. 0 point. What did I write above that? And then I Love New York has been coming up all week. Actually, for the past 2 weeks, I believe. I Love New York is translated to I am love Jesus at entry point. Again, I is the I am presence. The heart is love. And New York, N-Y. N for me is Jesus. It's capital N or lowercase en for me is code Jesus. And then Y is that Y in the road. And Y in the road is the masculine line at the V of the vagina before entry, okay? I am love, Jesus, at entry point, and Jesus is representative of the divine masculine. So I want to read the line before this to you too about the hooray, now that you get all this stuff. Hip, hip, 1 chair, googly eyes, and ray. centered divine masculine, divine feminine, their dance within, and a centered chakra system on point, and the human grounded. Hip to hip, hooray, hoorah, the dance of two dancing, two humans with googly eyes, trance-like really, the ray of light, the Ra at the Y in the road, the point of entry, the entry point, ground zero, the etheric altar at the Statue of Liberty, and 0 point. I love New York. I am love Jesus at entry point. And what is the entry point to the United States? Well, of course, Ellis Island and the Statue of Liberty. And the Statue of Liberty has what? It has a me and a mini-me, a small one in Paris, France, and a large one in New York, New York. Me and mini-me, me and my shadow, New York, New York. Double lock and entry. The Statue of Liberty, Lady Liberty and Ellis Island, home of the free. So it's coming up as the divine feminine is Lady Liberty, the divine masculine, Ellis Island, the home of the free. Ellis Island, ELLIS, is land, Israel, all Islam, the lamb, and that all is real. In like a lion, out like a lamb. And that's coming up as March. The Elohim and two keys is Sophia, is Lou, Adam, Jesus, Metatron, Michael, Moses, David. It doesn't matter who it is. They are all, and the dogs, the divine director and Eminem, all of Goliath proportion. All are one, one for all are God, and all are love. If we can't integrate our human differences and shadows, how will we ever shed enough light to allow our ET friends in? Phone home. It's time to connect our galactic families. The finger of Yod, God, ET. Yogi Bear, Yogi Beara, Yo God, I bear witness to human connection outside themselves. So I'm going to read that part once again. This is really important, you guys. It was just amazing me that this was coming through. Now, I already knew, and this is how this code stuff works. Spirit teaches you things a bit at a time so that the next time you get a download, you understand what they're talking about. So last year, the year before, I got a download about the etheric altar above the Statue of Liberty, which I had researched before. I happened to come across that. But I actually had a vision of the Pleiadians transferring something to the angels at the foot of the Statue of Liberty. But there is an etheric altar from Atlantis there above the statue. So the ray of light, the Ra at the Y in the road, the point of entry, the entry point, the ground zero, the etheric altar at the Statue of Liberty, and 0 point, which is now also ground zero in Manhattan, okay? I love New York. I am love. Jesus at entry point. So he's saying Ellis Island, the Statue of Liberty. Small one is France, the large one is in New York. Right? Bridging the gap between countries, between differences. Me and mini-me, me and my shadow. So Paris could be considered the shadow of the states. And vice versa. New York, New York. The double lock and entry. Okay, so again, 2 New Yorks. Me and mini-me, me and my shadow. The Statue of Liberty, Lady Liberty, and Ellis Island. Ellis Island was the entry point for the masculines. Lady Liberty is the entry point for the feminine, the Paris connection. Ellis Island, the home of the free, where all of the, all of the men came to bring their families to the home of the free, for freedom. Ellis, ILLIS, is land, Israel, Islam, all Islam, all is land, the Lamb, the Elohim, and the 2 keys is Sophia. So I'm saying, everything's saying is land, right? And land, of course, is Gaia. And any place on this earth, right? Ellis Island is land. Israel, Islam, It's saying we're all the same. We're all human beings. All is the Lamb, the Elohim, and the two keys. The two keys, which we expressed earlier. The key of the Divine Masculine's mouth, the clam shut, and the key of the portal of the feminine, the vaginal canal, is the second key. Those are the two keys. The mouth that's clammed up and the vaginal connection that's clammed up. One Sophia, one the masculine. But it's saying the two keys here are, the masculine unto his own island of Ellis Island, and then the second key of Sophia, the Statue of Liberty, and all of it is the Lu, the Adam, the Jesus, and the dogs, the divine director, right? Metatron, Michael, Moses, and David. It doesn't matter. And then was coming up in like a lion, out like a lamb, which is referencing March, but here it's referencing Lionsgate of 8-8. In like a lion, out like a lamb, 3344. And that just blew me away, right? Because my business is called Twin Flames 3344, and I never got that before. So when I went to March, I went to 33, but they were saying no, it's through 44, which would include all of March. And the eyes of March was coming up as well. So in like a lion, 8-8, out like a lamb, 3344. Because I was also getting 44 as a starting point next year from 4-4 to 5-5 of the next year, 11 months, 11 days, 11 hours. I'm sorry, it wasn't 11. It's 1 year, 1 month, 1 day, and 1 hour, 11/11, coming up as the time from April 4th, 2020 to May 5th, 2021 as a honeymoon period. All of the Goliath proportion, all of this. So we're talking about all of these masters, including Moses and David. All of the Goliath proportion, all are one and one are all are God and all are love. If we can't integrate our human differences and shadows, how will we ever shed enough light to allow our ET friends in? Phone home, ET. It's time to connect our galactic families, the finger of Yod, of God, of ETs. That is our home. Yogi Bear, Yogi Bera, Yo God, I bear witness to the human connection outside of themselves. Okay? So really your ET connection is within yourselves, but we're bringing that, once we really have that connection within ourselves, to our higher selves, then we can manifest the ETs actually physically manifesting to come together with us. Okay? So then healing and forgiving far and wide, the Adam's apple. The throat poisoned when Eve left him. He clammed up. This was at 202 to 203. Now armed with Excalibur, which is one of 3 Excaliburs, the mother, father, and the third energy, thus a child, the quanta, the unquantifiable, the way that a frog becomes a prince, charming. And then the light flashed when I wrote that. And it flashed a couple times as I was writing these notes. 3 + 3 + 3 = 9. The odd imbalanced, an exchange must be made. The Page of Swords reversed and the Knight of Cups reversed. No message, no love. Healing takes the Page of Pentacles, a student who's upright, right? Letting go of their pride and being the student again, learning lessons of the heart. So the Page of Swords reversed and the Knight of Cups reversed, which can be children or grown people acting with this energy. No message, with no message, no love, pride, that the healing takes the Page of Pentacles, student, learning lessons of the heart. The opportunity to use the gold coin, the Kohan, the Kohans, the 2 co-pilots of Han Solo, to say, for the masculine, I was a blockhead. Literally, my crown was blocked. And the feminine saying, I was the wounded warrior victim. Literally, my root was blocked. One kept getting lost, misdirected, and losing faith, and the other kept falling and losing his crown abilities, his status, his money, to fund the journey and falling from grace. He must be given back his rod, and she her staff. And then I turn the page, it's 222. The man's power is in safety and stability, in giving those things, the big picture, the provider. The woman's power is nurturing, organizing, creating beauty, receiving his safety and stability, and creating a loving home to receive him when he arrives. So this is the standard, energies of the feminine and masculine energies. His confidence, her heart. His articulation, her third eye. And topping it off, the cherry on top, the crowning glory, connection to self, source, God, creator, love, i.e. commitment to each other. Twins, that you are both divine masculine and feminine. In your perfect authenticity, you dance back and forth in varying degrees, knowing without knowing, allowing the natural flow back and forth, to give and receive, to allow and exchange, be ready and grounded for change. Corrections and amends to be made. Tests were all taken and returned to the students. Time to learn from your mistakes. As the meek, the student, the children, inherit the earth. The teachers, wounded warriors, those who have lived in a human body and have experienced pain with expansion. Minimize pain and maximize gain. Just like a big baby or a big poop that really hurts. You can bear the pain because it will be over before you know it. And what you produce is well worth the endurance, the patience with self, the growing pains, the perseverance. The women are more emotionally mature due to dealing with birthing every month, their period. Yet men are more energetically mature because they have to learn to resist the temptation of Woody on autopilot every morning. The divine feminine learning the experience of the man always aroused and the inability to use it or do something about it. The divine masculine learning to be drained, moody, and in pain, bleeding every month for a week, bloated, moated, grounded to the castle, too tired to go out. So at 239, which is the High Priestess and the Knight of Cups, Jesus is written all over this one. The game of the hanged man. Sandals and feet in the grass, hung out to pasture, Peter Pan and poor man's Wendy, both wounded warriors of a long drawn-out family feud of Adam's apple and Summer's Eve. There is no competition when you play on the same team. When players fight, the coach breaks it up. The coat might be coming up here for a reason, but the coach breaks it up and learn to deal with it or find the sport that you do truly resonate with, right? Because if you're not willing to put up with it, maybe it's not your sport. This is that tough love mentality of men, right? The spoiled sport wound, not a team player, misunderstood, dark and mysterious child of abuse. Instead of kicking them out, go more fully into the pain. Keep giving compassion to the bully. Keep giving compassion to the bully, the bull, E, at the Y in the road. And eventually, and by the way, don't wear red while you're doing this, the bull, the horse, the dog will break. His will break, and bliss will creep in. Send them away, but continue to leave the door open. Allow the other to fall without taking you down, still being there. When they're ready to try again. And that was at 249, which is the High Priestess, and the Nine of Cups, which is when the masculine finally finds their happiness by themselves, their balance, their sovereignty. So when they're ready to try again, then the door is always open for them to come back. Walk away and within, the hermit. Be the hermit, masculines, as the needed wise one. Be the hermit as needed. Be that wise one, holding back feelings when disorganized or feeling random until those energies are organized or unscattered, calm and peaceful again, willing and open again, able to shed light on your own about a need for attention outside yourself. So until you can find out why you need attention outside yourself and can find peace on your own without that attention outside yourself, you're not ready necessarily to find that true person until you truly know who you are. So true love comes up, and underneath that, unrequited love. Experiencing both true love and unrequited love within the same person, within yourself. openly dropping your burdens, confessing to be free, recovering from abandonment and poverty wounds, to extend an olive or blueberry branch from one twisted pillar to another. The stage is set, the lights go down. Take out the devil, the dark, the narcissistic tendencies. Oh, that guy is not a narcissist. He's just an old judge with no love in his life. Unkept beard because he just doesn't care anymore without his wife or after the divorce. However, he is a judge and he's willing to marry you by divine order and pure intent. And white golden egg with rose pink dessert, physical union, the other women, a ruse, or for show, or a ruse, defensive because only with his kids. So that was confirming for someone that he's just only been with his kids. No production, regardless, it's only about the present moment. The gift that removes the past and the gift that keeps on giving and lasts forever. The showstopper, the MRI with twins. Two women, I don't know why MRI was coming up. Maybe people want to get an MRI together with your twin, which will be things that happen, I promise you that. But the gift that lasts forever, the showstopper, the MRI with twins. I was just getting Mr. I from MRI as well, like the I am present. Like once both twins are Mr. I am present. The two women, or male, male, female, it doesn't really matter. All is one, all is love. Matching bulls. So it's saying with the twins, you know, whether it's a gay or straight relationship, two women, two men, male, female, it doesn't matter, that all is one and all is love. Matching bulls and it's supposed to say matching butts. Masting bulls. Bull masting. All right, so supporting the bull and the BS. Matching butts. As you guys come together and home runs, the only shadow of billowing drapes and trappings of your new nest egg or home. That home is where the heart is. The altar is above the head. The rest. Above the head, above the rest, above the head, above the rest, but rest having to do with sleep, right? The altar is above the head. The connection to your higher self. A necessary evil, if you know what I mean. As the Paramahamsa fly south on vacations and such, staged with smoke and mirrors, now you see me, now you don't. But I'm still right here, silly. You just can't see me. I'll be right in. So people experimenting with their connection. And then parenting comes up, 63, which is that 9 of Swords, that suffering and silence connection, and parenting and kids. And you know how kids do that naturally, you know, suffer in silence because their parents don't get them, or their friends don't get them, whatever it is. Underneath that was financial discipline for the masculine, which is 48, walking away and going within, that 8 of Cups energy. Treasure Island surrender, busy bees away for a while. So it's like leaving, the masculine leaving behind the end of the family cycle and getting away for a while. Treasure Island surrender. The Knight of Wands ready for fireworks. All clear for heart-stopping jolt of greased lightning and thunder roll. Metatron and Michael always near at hand, but promise to stay out of the bedroom. And the Divine Masculine promises to keep you closest to his heart, because all of me loves all of you. And I'm not getting I'm not starting on the tune right, but anyway, the song's coming up. All your curves and all your edges, all your perfect imperfections is coming up from the masculine to the feminine, and I was getting major connection there. My heart is so full of you, overwhelmingly so. My heart just naturally pours out all over others around me. The X is gone from their ivory tower. The Divine Masculine fell hard so the full story could be told. He could come to a conclusion. So now peaceful and overflowing with your gold coin, with so much to give and gifts to bring, the little drummer boy who wears no ring, just a boy in front of a girl, aroused by her beauty, asking her to love him as the lights flickered again. That was at 3:25, and 25 is the Knight of Wands. Love is never having to say you're sorry, because if I did, it would take our whole lifetime to finish, and I'd rather just get started. Started, start, and ED. Emergent new beginning. The Divine Masculine comes with the dowry and the key to his treasure. Raising his red flag, just warning you, you're in for it. The Ten of Pentacles upright includes all 4 suits, and the Ten of Cups reversed is the end of the old family emotional cycle. So it's saying the Ten of Pentacles is upright, but the Ten of Cups is reversed. However, the Ten of Pentacles includes the uprightness of all 4 suits in one, because it is the final card of the deck. So the old family cycle is over, but the dream family has begun. The fleur-de-lis and wine and robes, the Knight of Wands has surrendered to his true, authentic self, who is real and doesn't play games and simply loves you and owes you a bunch. The Divine Masculine is humbled by true love, feeling like a failure and wanting to make amends, but there is some parenting involved and practicalities. And before I go on to recently, I'm going to tell you the signs and the court cards and take you around the cards. So for me, that was just really amazing stuff. And when I'm going through it, you have to understand it's so much more intense than when I'm reading it back, because I'm feeling through all this stuff. It was just so amazing. So let me show you the cards first, and then I'll get into which is which. So which is maybe coming up too. All right, the underlying energy is that 6 of Pentacles or crystals. The recent past is the Hermit or reflection in this deck, the Sirian Starseed deck. The foundation here is the Adept of Wands. You see him there with his candle and his clarifying cards there. And then the center of the read is the 6 of Cups. So that is reversed energy today. The challenge being the higher self. The other underlying energies here. And then crowning, you can barely see, is that 8 of Wands with that circle of flames there. That's the 8 of Wands. And then bridging across, the 40 bridge, to come to the near future card, which is the Tower upright in its full force. The masculine seeing himself as the King of Swords, which is reversed energy today, with the all the romance angel cards there, all very positive, very amazing actually. So don't worry about the reversals, it really doesn't matter at this point. Around the masculine, or how he's seen, is the 7 of Flames or 7 of Wands. Blocks he needs to clear is his own heart, the 4 of Crystals or the 4 of Pentacles, the Bat Cave. And then we have the numerology cards with love there at the bottom, and the final card being that 10 of Orbs or 10 of Swords. And after that, the Knight of Cups, which was reversed today, the 10 of Wands, which is also reversed, that was good, and then the Shadow card reversed at the top there, up to the Page of Pentacles with the gold coin. And then just those 4 extra cards there as a sidebar note. The 12 cards I pulled here at top are the underlying energies. The bottom of the deck was that Knight of Cups. And that starts with Aries with the 4 of Wands reversed, going down to Pisces at the Queen of Swords. And then I have some extra cards summarizing down here. And we'll get into all of that in a second. All right. So the last of the read. Recently, reflection of the Hermit dancing in the rain in high vibration divine marriage. Without her Knight of Cups, but supported by abundance of the dream family. It's like the Hermit's coming up as, it can be the masculine, but it also can be the divine feminine. So as the divine feminine, in their high vibe divine marriage, reflecting, without her, the feminine, her Knight of Cups is the masculine, but she's well supported by the abundance of her dream family, so her new family that she's met on her journey. Or the Taurus, who's keeping their vibration high, and the lights flickered again there, and that was at 3:37 of the Empress and the King of Cups, holding back love from an abundant family and saving to repay or pay off debt. may feel it was unfair how much they took, or that the marriage or commitment was not fair in love or money exchange, or some Taurus unworthiness of the other family's wealth, or assuming that wealthy families that they just don't love. And this is all commitment for the masculine. A money for love offer is imbalanced because love is always free no matter how you look at it. However, it requires being present with an open heart and a connection, communication, and no withholding. The government always gets you on that one, so you don't need to. The foundation is the Knight of Wands. Withholding. The prisoner of saving and grounding and being moderate. Not sleeping and rising above, but also the Knight of Wands. Reversed is holding back passions. Centrally for the masculine is the Six of Cups, reversed. Judgment, announcements, and a call to action may be felt as abusive or held back. Somebody may be holding back or giving someone the silent treatment. The kids or the twin could be misbehaving or verbally abusive or giving parents the silent treatment as kids. Both Knight of Wands and Knight of Swords are present here and reversed, which can be two young people up to no good or two adults, with an adult masculine with a friend out on the prowl, can be the feminine as well, after getting burned looking for true love in all the wrong places, or looking at old pictures or past memories, holding back abusive or neglective childhood, or still hung up on an old love and not telling or expressing their true feelings, or the past returns and someone struggles to hold back their passions, and then depression, loss of hope, and the secret passion and feeling drained comes up here, or sick or depressed and sick that a secret is out for the masculine. So before I go on further, I still have to tell you the signs and the court cards. And as I turned the page there, it was going from 403 to 404, and that's to do with the Emperor and the Empress, and then the Emperor versus the Emperor. So the signs, only the ones that are both directions, so upright and reversed or two separate people, Aquarius, Pisces, Gemini, Scorpio, and Cancer and Sagittarius were upright and reversed. Libra was all upright, Taurus all upright, Leo was all reversed, Aries all reversed, Capricorn all reversed, Virgo was all upright. And Sagittarius, although it was upright and reversed, was more upright actually. So then of the court cards, the Emperor and the Empress. The Emperor and the Empress were both reversed today. The Two of Cups and the Lovers were both reversed today. The Six of Swords was upright, so there is peace. And then the Four of Wands, the Union card was reversed. So that could be definitely moving and stuff like that as well. And the Six of Cups, the Children in the Garden, was reversed as well. And that could be the past returning. So it doesn't have to be a negative thing, and it could just be looking back at, clearing your wounds and things and doing shadow work, that kind of stuff. But all of the Knights were reversed, just so you know. So any energies that are action-oriented today may not go well because they were all reversed. The Page of Cups and the Page of Pentacles were upright, the other two reversed. The Queens were all upright except the Queen of Wands. And the Kings were all upright except for the King of Swords. All the Aces were upright except the Ace of Swords. So there's really positive energy for the adults today. But like I said, all the Knights are reversed. And that can have to do with action-oriented things or teenagers and 20-year-olds, right? Getting into trouble, going out, partying and stuff like that. So the Ten of Swords and Pentacles were upright, the other two reversed. The Nine of Wands was upright, so the Wounded Warriors upright, and the Nine of Swords, that suffering was upright as well. The other two reversed. Of the Fives, the Five of Wands was upright, and the Five of Swords. So the war and the battle are still ongoing and back up again, right? So you end them, and then the masculine ends up going back into them. That's the problem, is there's so much drama with the people around him. Keep wanting the drama to go on to keep his energy vibration low so that he can't get out of the mess. So let's go on from where we stopped off. All right, so 403 and then 404, the Emperor and the Empress, and then the Emperor and the Emperor. So two Emperors and an Emperor and Empress, and remember the Emperor and the Empress are both reversed today. So that could be the masculine and karmic, the masculine and the feminine, or their parents or their in-laws. Any of that kind of energy. It can be grandparents as well, or bosses, whatever, but they're couples. So the challenge being here is the higher self for the masculine. connecting and the secret passion, memories of the past, and a big work love, remembering times by the logs, beaming and exposed skin. So maybe moments that the masculine's remembering about the divine feminine. Emotionally unhappy after ending a family, getting over grief, loss, or regret, as or of the Emperor reversed, right? So the masculine can be the Emperor reversed, or it can be getting over the loss or regret of an Emperor reversed. And the Queen of Swords is speaking about lies, the split of the King of Swords reversed, remembering and speaking about past moments together, the Queen of Wands, the angel or Sagittarius not in his truth, and a death in her family, or possibly a father's death for the feminine that's happened long ago, like when they were going through their journey together, perhaps trying to cut sorry, I'm having a really hard time speaking today and getting the words out. So that feminine may have dealt with a death during her journey. So it's just remembering back to that time and maybe speaking about it, where the feminine, when she was dealing with a loss, was just then trying to cut to the chase and being honest about what she was going through with their twin, who then ignored her, assuming the issue couldn't have been him. It must be her family member's death or her own issues. Or the Knight or King of Swords reversed, being patient with her because she went through a death or circumstance and really was thinking that it was all a lie, grounding and integrating the King of Cups, mastering of emotions, and feeling weak or without courage, or a need to be strong, or a fallout between father figure and son, or the divine masculine's partner always telling him he is wrong or lying, or two sides of the family that never got along. Now for the masculine is the Eight of Wands reversed, kids or twins, or just not expressing their feelings and passions, the war within and the battle without, standing in truth, yet the wounded warrior hiding, pegged as the third party, or due to gossip and addictions or codependencies. The enemies with a strong connection, and that can reference to anyone who's still married to their karmic, and it can reference between the masculine and the feminine too, depending on whether they're talking to each other or not. But the enemies with a strong connection, the Queen of Swords reversed out of control with partying and addictions and foolish behavior, in a death wish connection with the Page of Pentacles reversed, saving money on the side. And so this Page of Pentacles reversed can represent the masculine, but it also can represent one of their children. So it could be a mother and child at war because the mother's addictions, or the Queen of Swords reversed and the Page of Pentacles reversed at war due to a powerful connection so much bigger than them. So that can represent the masculine and feminine together with the energy between them, or the masculine with his karmic and the divine feminine energy of their connection between them. The Magician warding off the devil, or the Queen of Swords reversed and the Page of Pentacles reversed, both need to go to detox or rehab. So it could be a mother and child who have the same issues, or a child saving up to get out of this place. And again, that was coming up multiple times this week about a child wanting their independence and going to court to get away from their parents. The War of the Roses in karmic partnerships and kids of war with the twins, or kids or war with the twins, all right? So it can be War of the Roses in karmic relationships or partnerships, war with kids as well, but also War of the Twins, as within so without, due to addictions and codependencies. It all comes back to pain and fear. The Queen of Swords upright, Magician standing up for themselves and fending off others, holding back feelings but speaking the words that the King of Swords had refused to hear. So there's two Queen of Swords coming up here. There's an upright one that's coming off as the divine feminine, and the one that's reversed who could be, being mean to the masculine. So that could be the karmic energy. Or it could be a friend or a sibling or a child, whatever it is. But there's a military reflection here for the feminine energy of the soldier and the war widow, keeping others away until her soldier comes home from the war. Then at the gate, discussing a breakup or a disconnect in a divorce, or a near death or actual death that happened already. So, but standing at the 3D gate of the masculine with his karmic, or the masculine with his twin, and is he coming across or not? It's that kind of energy right there. The Libra and the Leo, not seeing eye to eye, or a divorce, leaving them both weak, or in ego death. The patient King of Swords reversed, in waiting, although mad if he's reversed, or just not in his truth, waiting while the karmic had a friend or relative that was sick or dying, or Sagittarius lawyer who was really cutthroat, or Sagittarius or an angel that was dying 1,000 deaths. And then I was getting, I have died every day waiting for you. So that song was coming up. I have died every day waiting for you. Darling, don't be afraid. I have loved you for 1,000 years, and I'll love you for 1,000 more. So this is the masculine coming through after all this kind of crap going on in the life, all the drama of 3D, and then going up to 5D and the beautiful heavenly energies of, I'm here. I've died, 1,000 deaths waiting for you. And I've loved you for 1,000 years. I will continue to love you 1,000 more. So 433 to 434. 33 is the Christ vibration. And the 7 of Wands, standing up for himself and fending off all others. And then the 34 of the passionate exchange, the arrows of love, the expression of the feelings between each other. And also it's the 434 now, because we were talking about the Empress and the Emperor. We have 2 emperors and an empress. So there may be 2 who have to fight for the feminine, or it could be where the karmic has a third party. Family getting over the loss of the emperor reversed, who may have passed, or it could just be a separation of families or ties. The emperor reversed or lies, a split and or BS that went along with that. The karmic may be a Leo or weak or out of control or error in their own dark night. The Page of Cups, dying to express their true feelings in a sudden event, explosions, or the Queen of Wands reversed, losing their temper with the King of Pentacles upright. Karmic and Divine Masculine, grounding and integrating, living a lie, and holding back secret passions, and they could both be doing that, under the radar or feeling like a failure. The King of Pentacles not putting it out there, not putting his ass on the line, while the King of Cups, without affection, and this can reference the mastering of the feminine, of her emotions, without affection, the feminine or the King of Cups with no message or affection, or a child that the masculine isn't getting affection from, and trying to find peace with kids going back and forth between the King of Cups and the Queen of Pentacles. So there's all sorts of combinations of twins coming up here at the end of this read. Leo, Gemini, Capricorn, Scorpio, Cancer, Leo, and or Scorpio, Cancer, and Gemini. 2 different Queen of Pentacles, earth signs, and 2 different Queen of Swords, air signs come up here. Both of the Queen of Pentacles were upright energy, but the swords, one was up, one was down. Sagittarius, Scorpio, and Libra, Leo. Virgo, Capricorn, Aries, or Gemini, Capricorn, and Aries. Taurus, Virgo, Libra. Taurus, Virgo, Aquarius. Aquarius, Pisces, Leo. And then King of Pentacles and King of Cups and the Queen of Wands reversed. Leo, Gemini, Gemini. Queen of Pentacles, and Gemini. Or Pisces or Capricorn. And then triangulations all over the place of every combination, and karmics too. Soon, a tower of full power, implementing a plan to heal and forgive, the King of Wands, the fire starter. Or someone alone, camping out by himself or at a bonfire. Strategizing where to go from here in an explosion, sudden events, or epiphanies, and that explosion is definitely connected to the Queen of Wands reversed. The Divine Masculine is the King of Swords reversed, with the King of Pentacles unstable or moving or ending a marriage or trying to stay balanced. Or the Divine Masculine is moving or ending a marriage, and the Queen of Pentacles is stable and grounded and in her knowing of it. The Page of Cups coming out from behind the Empress reversed, and that can definitely reference the masculine is coming out from behind his mother's purse strings or apron strings, either way. But coming out from behind the Empress reversed, the Page of Cups, with a message of puppy love, hoping the Queen of Cups, having felt betrayed or in pain, won't run away when he offers her his passion, his new passion, his true love. So reconciliation, getting to know each other, release your ex, let friends help you, and worth waiting for all came up for the masculine today. The Empress reversed could be the Divine Masculine's mother and dealing with the Queen of Pentacles and him wanting to offer love to the Queen of Cups. Or the King of Swords is pissed off about house issues, and the Empress reversed could be birthing. The Page of Cups or his mother or karmic pretending to offer friendship to the Divine Feminine, or it's just a mother who's ill with kids visiting her, possibly at a new nursing place that they just moved her to, or Alzheimer's facility. Or the youngest, or Pisces, trying to get in on the good side of the grandmother who's ill with money. And 27 came up here, which is the Ace of Wands, that new passion. Around the Divine Masculine and rising up above drama to complete their world and come full circle, or someone on neighborhood watch, or the sealed Divine Feminine looking back to rise above, or going back to the hood. So again, reunions for schools have been coming up, and that would reference that as well. School reunions for some, and choosing new path, the left path of Divine Feminine, the new, of the King of Cups, mastering of emotions. The King of Swords reversed, and the King of Cups upright, the Queen of Pentacles upright, and the Empress reversed, and Queen of Cups upright, are all in his energy or right around him at this time, and that was at 5:05. The Hierophant and the Hierophant, and that can represent two Taurus people. So that could be the masculine and his karmic as well. You know, or anyone else who's around him. It could be a mother, could be a karmic, could be the masculine, could be the Divine Feminine, or a sister, a friend, coworker, whoever it is, but there's those people around him. The masculine needs to clear blocks of his own heart. The Four of Crystals, the being warm-hearted, saving and being moderate, the Bat Cave, the bachelor pad, recovering from being abandoned by the Divine Feminine, or thinking about her, that he abandoned her, and recovering, that she may be now recovering and dumping attachments. Grounding and integrating difficult kids, twins, or issues with siblings, the Page of Wands reversed and the Knight of Wands reversed were coming up here. So he needs to clear blocks of high noon and cartoons. So that's definitely resonating with that bachelor pad thing. But the Page of Wands reversed and the Knight of Wands reversed, you know, there's no good energy there. That can be anything. It can be adults, children, adults acting like children. But love comes up for the masculine even more so is self-love and personal growth. Deception and false light, or the King of Wands and a self-hug before sunrise and before everyone awakes, right? A moment to himself. So some of the masculines may be doing this, getting up before sunrise to just give himself love without anyone else around. I thought I had gone into that more already. Let me come down here. Yeah, that the Knight of Cups and the Page of Cups definitely can be two friends, masculine and his friend hanging out in the Bat Cave. Can be siblings hanging out. It could be children, but they're all like up to no good because they're both reversed. Or they're just really tired and they're hanging out in the Bat Cave because they're too tired to go out. All right, but it can be kids up to no good too. So be careful about the kids since all the knights were reversed today. So if any kids are going out tonight, just keep your eyes and ears open. So deception and false light, or the King of Wands giving himself a self-hug before sunrise and before everyone awakes. The Ten of Orbs, death, betrayal, and painful endings in a breakup with love or kids, with nasty communications, or someone disappeared without a word, or kids living with you left to live with their mom, or a Gemini child who's weak but no affection with either parent, but finds more peace with the Queen of Pentacles in their awakening, which could be one of the parents or none, and they go to a friend's or a relative's house. The King of Wands has an ending with one Queen of Pentacles Gemini or Leo, Scorpio, Cancer, or Aries, or the Queen of Wands reversed, and then ends that relationship for another Queen of Pentacles who's awakened. The Queen of Wands reversed and the King of Pentacles explode, and the Scorpio reversed and Cancer are very unhappy with the Knight of Cups reversed. No love from a Queen of Pentacles mother or Gemini and their new lover, but the Gemini can just represent, at this point in the read, twins all over the place, all right? It's literally just saying there's an explosion of three-way issues because of the twins all over the place, then catalysting into the karmic third parties as well. So it's just third-party situations everywhere, and twins everywhere coming into union. The twins, the Queen of Pentacles times 2. So we have two different Queen of Pentacles who are both twins, and Some of the karmics may also be a twin for someone else, but not all karmics are twins, that's for sure. But one could be a gay twin and the other one straight, of the Queen of Pentacles. And then the King of Cups, Scorpio, Cancer, Gemini, Capricorn, and Leo there at the end. So again, that King of Cups could also be a twin at the end there. So it doesn't have to be a water sign, but it can be for sure. It could just be someone who comes into their unconditional love, which can be any man who's a twin. All right, so letting go of the burdens and confessions, all unhappy alone without love offered. Detoxing addictions and codependencies, working to align with a quest for the impossible dream. Powerless and surrender, losing money, power, and independence. The patient angel, going one step at a time. Purging, stressed, up nights, wide awake, or awakening, a lot of light coming in to the students of the gold coin, Kohan or Kohans, the co-pilots. Opportunity knocks. So there may be a negative past or negative past returning, not sharing, deception and stubbornness that he's experienced, refusing to move or work or unable to work, inequity and deception of the past and bad memories, or the past returning now for the masculine. So not sharing a past, a broken heart of separation and healing, or not sharing a coming together at work, or how he felt coming together at work with the feminine, or not sharing some kind of honoring that he experienced recently, or missing the divine feminine at work, not sharing issues, addictions, gossip, third party, or that he may not have any social life, or that he's in debt up to his eyeballs, and hawk, or that he got scammed or made a bad deal, paying things off now and wanting to make amends, make good on things. The wounded warrior, Knight of Wands reversed, and King of Swords reversed, weak and wounded, holding back passions, not in his truth or just mad, but rising above and starting to stand up for himself, reflecting, hermiting about the past to deal shadow work and all that kind of stuff, dealing with difficult children perhaps, and the past returning. The challenge being secret passion and explosive orgasm in the bat cave, not telling about heated exchange or an ending betrayal, bleeding out without love, and then also issues of feeling jealousy or insincerity, and dumping everything, dumping it all in order to detox. So it's definitely a masculine coming out of all the crap, the transition there. 535 is the wounded warrior and the Hierophant. So the wounded warrior of any marriage or divorce or establishment, contracts, commitments, anything of the patriarchy and commitments that he had or contracts, but needing to be humbled and learn to be a student again. Humbled and brought down a notch or two, imbalanced, in debt or scammed, reflecting, hermiting, saving, and being moderate and grounded. The Knight of Wands reversed, holding back passions or using others, dealing with difficult kids or his own childhood issues, the past returning, or how he hurt his twin, him, which is him, so hurting himself and hurting his twin, and not telling or expressing the passion that he felt. The challenge being the secret out, not using his intuition or his secret passion. The King of Wands the King of Swords reversed, explodes in a sudden event, sudden epiphany, or a painful ending, standing up for self to drama and the fires and powers that be, in the bat cave, his own heart, saving and grounding, ending things without going into all the feelings and the energy wasted because of it. Or perhaps just a message or a massage or a crystal rock session or crystal caves. Only good thing here in this read is the Hermit, the Tower, and the Bat Cave, which is the Divine Masculine's heart. The rest needs to go. So it's really going through the transition and all this stuff is falling away, but it's kind of like being right in the midst of all the crap. But the Hermit is there upright, which is really good. That's the wise one. The Tower, which is great because that always comes in when things need to be cleared. It's a grand transmutation. And then the Bat Cave of the Divine Masculine's heart, being moderate, grounding and saving, right? Being his true self, being warm-hearted, and the rest needs to go. So the center of the read had everything to do with the past, shadow work, children with issues, and the past now returning. So high school reunions are big because anyone who never got over their high school sweetheart now has a chance to reconnect with them again. The challenge being the false twin, the secret passion, the not using their intuition, and the secrets being out, and that feeling of making him sick. So now we're going to go on to the 12 cards, the read. I have to pick up the clarification cards, so just bear with me for 1 sec. So the underlying energies here, the 5th card down from the bottom of the deck is the World that's now showing, and that's upright. And for me, that can reference the Divine Feminine marching to the beat of her own drum in the sealed energy. That's the 5th card down. Then we have the Magician reversed, and then the 6 of Pentacles reversed, which is right here in the read. And then we have the 9 of Swords reversed, which is also very difficult energy. The 9 of Swords, upright or reversed for me, is in the chronic cycles of pain and suffering, so they're difficult either way. And then we have the very bottom of the deck was the Knight of Cups, upright. And so the Knight of Cups upright is very nice energy. And so the fire signs could be offering love to the earth signs there. Is that everything? I think I get everything there. Okay. So now I'm going to turn it back this way so you can see the read. Just a little bit for you. Okay. All right, so I never put it down in the right place. Okay, so anyway, this is going to be Aries where we're going to start with, okay? That's the 4 of Wands reversed. Everyone take a deep breath because it is a little bit intense right now. I was feeling really positive when I did the read. It's just, there's a lot of stress that came up because of there's a lot of energy here. Because of, there's a lot of stuff coming up to the surface, the secrets coming out, all the stuff kind of falling apart, so it's a lot to clean up. But it's good because that means things are happening and processing and changing. All right. So for Aries, why do we have Aries? And I did do a spread before this, which I repeated again. So I'll show it to you, but I was going to, hold on 1 second, I'm trying to get this the right way. I don't know if I can get it to you the right way, but all right. So I can't, it's going to turn when I move my phone, but anyway, I'm going to do it sideways so you can at least see the cards. So these are the summary cards at the bottom. I didn't put the underlying cards up at the top. I just laid out the 12. This is Aries down to Pisces, which I will tell you which card came up as I do your read here. It's just there's been such negative energies this week, not just for one sign, it's for everyone. It's affecting everyone, so don't feel alone. It's just the general energies that are going on now because it's clearing. It's just a difficult time for everybody. So Aries with the 4 of Wands was the King of Wands reversed. So the 4 of Wands and the King of Wands reversed. So definitely someone who could be moving or ending their marriage for Aries. But they may want to offer love to the earth signs coming from all of the fire signs perspective. But definitely if Aries is leaving, moving, or ending a marriage, obviously he's got someone else in mind. He or she. Okay, so let's see what we have for Aries here. Okay, so Aries has the Sun and the 2 of Swords. So for me, that's definitely someone in their knowing who's in a very good, happy energy. Could be children, dealing with children if you're dealing with a move. Spending time in the sunshine, going on vacation with kids. And that could be, it may not be a move. It could just be that they're traveling. Maybe going to another home that they have or going on vacation to a sunny place with or without kids. It's just really about full exposure of being in your knowing, or someone's still pretending not to know. So it just depends on your situation, but the Sun is very positive. I don't see any negative energy there. Let's see what else is coming up. All right, so we have the Empress reversed and the Judgment reversed. And this is negative. Oh, I got to plug in before I lose you. All right. Okay. Here we go. I always forget to plug back in after I disconnect for you guys. All right, so the Empress reversed and the Judgment card reversed. You know, it was this way, I think. You know, that's pretty negative energy because someone in lack, and then, you know, you don't want this reverse. That's being at the Y in the road, you know, not making a choice, being in lack consciousness. So that's someone definitely in denial. So the Two of Swords there for that situation is all about pretending not to see, like so you don't have to deal with the situation, someone going away on vacation or moving just so they don't have to deal with it. Like pretending everything's fine, not making any decisions, or it could be someone who just had a miscarriage, but I'm not getting, I mean, the Sun card's there, but it's happy for children. I'm not getting like negative child energy. So I'm getting more just lack of feminine, whether it's the karmic or divine feminine, and anyone's mother or grandmother, boss, aunt, could be anyone really, but in lack consciousness, no abundance. Could be someone who made a bad decision, so they lost money, so they can't go on vacation now. Somebody did something stupid. All right, so anyway, that's Aries. Let's see what else is coming up for the other signs. Leo is the moon, and they used to flip right around. There we have the moon confirming again. So the moon's up right there, but it's reversed here. All right, so it could be going back and forth, and I'm getting kind of sunrise, sunset kind of feeling, even though it's two moons. So with Leo, it can be about the false light, it can be about the nighttime, it could be about the eclipse energy still affecting them, and the deception of any Knight of Pentacles reversed energy, which could be someone who's not able to work, or someone who's being stubborn, refusing to work or move forward, or just move in general. Could be someone who's being lazy or stubborn. But like I said, it could be someone who's unable to work. Let's see what else is coming up with that. All right, so we have the Six of Cups and the Five of Wands. And with the moon upright and reversed, it could definitely be someone with their period or just being really moody, for sure. You know, feeling lazy and bloated, definitely getting energies of that. But it could have to do with kids who are acting up because they're moody or on their period or something like that. Or it could be people dealing with their past emotions, their childhood, past lives, whatever it is, doing shadow work, or the past returning and creating a fight and having to deal with all that coming up. All right, but there's Two of Cups. Maybe someone's old friends are coming together. That could be like, you know, old friends happy and doing sports together. For the men there, it could be old friends getting back together and having fun. So that's really fun for someone. But I'm getting more masculine energy around that. With the Five of Wands, because, you know, when girls get together to have fun, they don't usually have that kind of energy, although they could. They could be getting together with a bunch of other girls or whatever. But it's just, I'm getting, this is really positive energy here and coming together. It's definitely reunion energy there, where two people come together, and maybe this is even unions where the twins are coming together and then offering their love to everyone else in the world, right? I'm going to put these two back, though, because there's too many cards. We have the Ace of Cups coming out after that again, too, right? So this kind of energy here. All right, so Swords energy coming together with this energy to make something really good, actually, even though she just might be haven't been quiet, because I'm not getting negative energy. This is someone in their truth. And this could be someone with Sword Moon energy as well for Leo. All right, so Leo's got the moon. So it's definitely shadowy, secretive energy, unions, old loves, going back to clear that stuff, and people just on their period or being lazy, that kind of energy coming up there for Leo. Then we have Sagittarius. Again, there's love up at the top. So Leo, you know, like I said, if they're reunion, someone's looking for love. And that doesn't have to be a sexual love. The Knight of Cups for sure could be a girlfriend that you haven't seen in a long time. You know, for a girl and a girl, and a guy too. The Hierophant's flipping out here, but not letting me catch it, reversed. So these two are kind of flicking out as we get to Sag. This is feeling overwhelmed by the energies, defenselessness, but then leading to not caring what other people think anymore as far as your spirituality, or someone getting a divorce or breaking a commitment or a contract. And that's the Page of Wands. So somebody's inspired to be spiritual and not care what others think, or inspired to divorce and let go of all their burdens, and or confess. Somebody could be inspired to go to confession. But again, the Knight of Cups is up top there for all the fire signs. So it's whatever their situation is, all about wanting to offer love. And here there's passion too. This is wanting to ask someone out on a date. It could be a kid as well, wanting to go out with their friends. But this could be too, where a kid of divorce who is inspired to go out with friends and no longer caring what anyone thinks, because now after everything their parents taught them and now them going through this big fight and divorce, they don't care what they say anymore. They're just going to be themselves, which is great. So Sag, yeah, there's a lot of fire with Sag. This is more fun fire, even though there's moodiness and laziness going on there. This is more fun and sports and stuff like that, whereas here is more dealing with the issues. But there's fun here too. They're inspired by it. They're inspired by letting go of all their issues, feeling defenseless to the energy, so knocked down, whether it's spiritually or in a divorce. They're just like, who gives a crap anymore? They don't care anymore, and they just go out with friends. So it's like, you know, being knocked down so much that you just have to do something else and have fun. All right, Taurus we have as the earth signs come in, are topped by the Nine of Swords reversed, which for me is chronic purging cycles. So fire signs might be coming over to cheer you up. Taurus is the Tower reversed, and Taurus has definitely been connected to the Queen of Wands reversed before in my reads. And the Queen of Wands was right next to the Tower today. So this is going to be Taurus in the aftermath of a big explosion, whether it be in a relationship or something else or an epiphany. This is coming up for Taurus. So Taurus is in the aftermath of sudden events or explosions or epiphanies, or in avoidance and trying to avoid that big explosion happening. So it's about not sleeping or rising above the big circumstance, whatever happened, and being in their knowing as the High Priestess, right? Connecting and meditating and being in their intuition more in the aftermath, right, to calm themselves. And this could be dealing with two kids as well, one upright, one reversed, or this can just represent the energies of the opportunity and being the student again, and this energy of people resisting that and having tantrums. So it's like the Divine Masculine and Divine Feminine's been giving this choice. You can either be here and resist what you're being offered, or you can humble yourself and be the student again and learn about your own gold coin. Or like I said, it can just be two kids that Taurus is dealing with. All right, and then so completion's there for Taurus. I'm going to put this one back though. Definitely completion came full cycle after looking back, or looking back now, or going back to reunions. There's now a cycle been complete. Also could be anything going on around the neighborhood. The neighborhood watch came up, so that could be referencing to Taurus as well. All right, and here's the Tower again, and now it's upright again. So definitely coming full circle. This could be the Divine Feminine as well. So it could be a masculine Taurus coming forward to the feminine, and the feminine now looking back and getting epiphanies, maybe even because she's getting information now from the masculine and purging them out. Okay, feeling the jealousy or insincerity or anything, the love that was never offered. She might be going back to another purge again to get it all out. Right, the jealousy of the perfect family, and that could be karmic energy too, feeling that way as we get the Queen of Wands coming up. This could be a masculine with his karmic still here, although it doesn't have to be. This could be a Divine Feminine with her karmic as well, or it could be a twin couple coming together. But one's reversed, so I'm getting more, it's more about a karmic connection where there may be a wealthy family involved, and the Divine Feminine purging it out because she knows he's not happy, but he's still there, like sharing all these events about his life with them instead of her. So there could be some of that purging coming up as well. So that's Taurus. And then we go to Virgo with the King of Swords. Oh, by the way, Aries was the King of Wands reversed. Leo was the Ten of Pentacles reversed earlier. And Sagittarius was the Hierophant reversed earlier. So all of them had to do with endings. The Ten of Pentacles for Leos, and now have the Moon. So if there was a family ending there, or a big loss of money. And then Sagittarius, again, could be a divorce, which was coming up here. That same position of the Hierophant came up as the main card before. So for Taurus, it's the Star card came up earlier. So somebody might have thought they had it in the bag, and then the Tower came in, because they're totally extreme different circumstances. Or somebody's dreams are coming true because of the Tower. That was Taurus. For Virgo, it was the Seven of Cups earlier, so dumping attachments, and now we have the King of Swords. So let's see what comes up for Virgo. Again, Virgos are just purging. It doesn't have to be a bad thing. It just means you have some more purging to go through, and it doesn't mean you're doing anything wrong. It's just your Earth cycle right now, okay? So, and again, these next cards are coming up with the King of Swords. So that was the Strength reversed and the Justice card. So again, there's divorce energies there as well as just court and fairness issues, and someone feeling weak or an ego death or needing the strength or the courage to be in his truth as the King of Swords. The King of Swords completing a family cycle or allowing himself in his truth to have happiness, to have emotional fulfillment, and possibly make someone no longer single anymore. This could be him losing his independence and power and money, but it also can be him knowing that he's worthy of happiness now and coming forward to his divine feminine and taking her sovereignty away from her because she's no longer single. All right, so that could be. And this could be taking it slow, or it could be a downturn of events where they lost money. So either one for Virgo, but releasing themselves either way. So it doesn't matter, even with the loss of money, it could be because of a divorce and they knew about it already. Or, yeah, he's in his truth. So the King of Swords upright is actually, for me, it's good Virgo energy. Because we have the Justice upright too, and Leo. So there's Leo and Libra here. This is reversed energy, this is upright energy. So for Virgo with Libra, which a lot of Virgos do because it's their neighbor or sister sign, there's some very positive energy there, especially with those other three cards that came up. With the King of Swords and the Ten of Cups upright again. And now these cards are coming out as I shuffled, so just, they want to be seen. So there's definitely good energy here. This is getting over any loss, regret, getting over yourself, to come together for this amazing, beautiful, you know, you can't get better than this, that happiness. And it may have to do with the Queen of Swords who hadn't been talking. But now is given truth on the side, and now is able to come together because she found out what the real story was. So that's Virgo. Let's see what comes up with Capricorn. Capricorn is the Fool reversed and the Knight of Swords upright, and it's Three of Cups here. So earlier Capricorn had the Five of Swords reversed, which was ending the war. So there could be some PTSD there too, since we have the end of the war card. But now is the celebration after the war, and this is someone acting a fool, right? With the Knight of Swords coming in. So this doesn't have to be bad. It could be someone falling for love with the knight in shining armor coming in, or it could be someone with harsh words getting into a fight and falling. So there could be two different things because people are out drinking. But I'm getting positive energy from that. I'm not getting, see, there's definitely positive energy there. Someone's knight in shining armor is definitely coming for them. And someone might be a fool for love. And then, and being happy though, and then implementing a plan or strategizing together. So that's really beautiful. I'll leave that out. That's really nice for Capricorn actually. But it could also be careful, somebody could get into a fight or something out at the bar. Again, there's still purging going on, right? Because it's upside down, but it could be a purge that just ended, and now they get this good news. So now we go into the air signs of Gemini. It's topped by the Six of Pentacles reversed, which has to do with not sharing or being scammed or having lost money or in debt, that kind of thing, or just inequity in any kind of relationship or give and take. But the Gemini has the Hermit reversed, which can be actually could be mental disease, over isolation, or coming out. All right, so again, Gemini has this energy too, but this is coming up as Gemini amidst two swords. So she could be in a little over-isolating energy, which is making her a little nuts, but seeing around her all these new beginnings, right, with the truth and the love. She could be offering love and truth on both sides of her as well. If she's coming out, like she could be coming out and just having new starts with other people after being silent. But it also could be a negative side too, where she's feeling bad about her situation because she's seeing all these new beginnings around her or him. There's an inequity. This is someone who can't find peace, okay? And having to do with the Lovers. And this is Gemini's card, so, but I'm going to take that back. So in case it comes up for somebody else. Let's see. But so Gemini might be struggling right now, or they've been quiet and now deciding to come out of isolation and offer love and truth to other people. So they may have gone through a big epiphany of themselves and are coming out about it now, and this is coming up too, right? So the worst is over. So that's a really nice sign for them. Let's see, go to Libra. And again, there's inequity at the top. So somebody might be paying debts off too. So Gemini might be paying back what was owed, whether it just has to do with emotions or time or effort, that kind of thing, as well as money. But maybe, you know, rebalancing things. So Libra has the patriarchy. So we got the Magician and the Emperor. But the Queen of Wands is there on Libra, reversed. So there's definitely scam energy. I knew there was something up there. Magician doesn't have to be like patriarchy, because I get that more as, especially when it's upright, as a masculine energy. And it could be where the masculine is the Emperor Magician, dealing with the Queen of Wands reversed. All right, and coming clean or being sneaky and half-truths. So she could be trying to scam him, or did, or still being sneaky or not telling him the whole truth, or she's fessing up to wrongdoing to the masculine, or to a father, or to two partners who are both men. So there's like Virgo, Gemini, Aries energies around that. And then, of course, the Queen of Wands. All right. And this has to do, could be with the third energy, or just sexual creative blocks, frustrations. This used to be mad, right? Did something out of revenge, for sure, coming up here. So Queen of Swords. So Queen of Swords can be the Libra, but also can be someone, it could be Libra with like fire in their moon, or some other fire placement. Or it could be a Libra dealing, a Libra masculine, who's one of the others, dealing with the Queen of Wands reversed. So let's see what's going on with Aquarius. So Aquarius has the 8 of Wands. Oh, wait a minute. Libra. Oh, that's interesting. Libra had Queen of Wands upright earlier. So she was upright earlier, and now she's reversed. So either she did something wrong now, or she's coming clean about wrongdoing, so that's why she's reversed now. Aquarius has the 8 of Wands reversed now, and earlier it was the Ace of Cups reversed. So that could be pushed to their emotional limits, not expressing their feelings, about to explode kind of energy. And then we have this of, instead of walking away, dealing with difficult emotions. And then the Hermit reverse, over isolating, right? You can really get into your head and get messed up, and needing to come out and express, which is good. So this is someone coming out, having processed through emotions, and now ready to express their feelings. So they weren't before, and now they are. Okay? Leading the way. So Aquarius, maybe wanting to come to see someone. This could be taking someone to the emergency room as well. Maybe someone's been dealing with issues they weren't talking about, and now are expressing them because they can't take it anymore. And this could be connected to Gemini as well. Someone may be rushed to the hospital. This could be just total chaos as well. This could be like fire. I was just getting fireworks exploding. So that could be like a war. Like this could be waging war. He's usually good news, but coming into this, they could want to give good news, and then this one starts a war, like an all-out war. This is supposed to be healing, though. So it could be in the aftermath of an all-out war or a big fight started. So this could be that fight, the original card. It could be really negative exchange. So it's really kind of questionable energy there with Aquarius here. So there may have been good news to tell since they were processing through their emotions instead of running away. But then they go into this block, which could be a car accident as well, or just this Hermit reverse could be Gemini who freaks out at them. Or the Gemini is this person coming in and wanting to settle things up, but maybe they're not ready to do that yet. Very interesting. Okay, Three of Cups is coming up after that. I'm not going to put it out, but so Aquarius could definitely be dealing with Capricorn since the Three of Cups is coming up. As far as friends, so they might be in a fight with a friend, or in coming together at a reunion, or just with friends in general, or in a group situation or a work group situation. So any of those really. There's not a lot of work energies coming up here besides the Queen of Pentacles, who could definitely be the Capricorn. So for Aquarius, it's more about just energetic and emotional. It's not work. All right, let's see with the water signs at the end with the Magician at the top reversed. I don't like that energy at all. But the Magician came up upright here now, so maybe they're not reversed anymore. Cancer has the Two of Pentacles. You know, it's really manipulative. Dark person, the Magician reversed. Especially next to the Six of Pentacles reversed inequity, like they could have scammed the earth signs, and the fire signs are trying to help the earth signs get over it. All right, so the water signs could have been very manipulative and moody, maybe with the period things. And then we have Cancer with the Two of Pentacles. Let's see why. And that could definitely be like a scammer manipulator performing, right? Taking people down. So again, this is coming up the same as Aquarius, and maybe Aquarius dealing with the same things as Cancer, getting over themselves. I'm sorry, this wasn't Aquarius. That was I can't remember, but you can go back and see if you want. But this is getting over yourself after feeling grief or regret, coming together, seeing eye to eye, and making plans together. This is really beautiful for Cancer, actually. So that Magician up there may just be their own insecurities. Maybe not sure they can actually do it in reality, do the dance, but getting over themselves and giving it a try, seeing eye to eye, and now they have huge plans. That's great. Cancer is really beautiful. Somewhat coming together in union, detoxing, okay? Or could be a little, you know, that could actually be a good devil thing there. If it's just insecurities or getting over it, it's really beautiful for Cancer. That could definitely be a reunion. Don't get yourself into trouble, though, if you're out drunk and you just meet someone random at a party. Then we have the Queen of Cups in Scorpio. Oh, by the way, Cancer was the King of Swords reversed earlier. And now he's upright doing the dance. So just be careful, because that could be someone scamming you too. Right? If you're out this weekend, just be careful. If you're Cancer, could be someone who just wants sex or wants money out of you, right? So as soon as they come together with you, they're going to be able to get your money. So Cancer, be careful of the manipulator. Like, don't believe every word they're saying. It may be, make you feel good because it's someone giving you attention after grieving. But just be careful, because that can go either way. Really, you have to feel into your discernment. Feel. Don't go into your head. Go into your heart place, because we had the King of Swords reversed on Cancer before. So Cancer may be the manipulator, not in their truth. So Cancer and Virgo could have that energy of being in their truth and then not in their truth, or just being insecure, since we have the Magician up top. But be careful with Cancer, because Cancer can be moody. So that's where the manipulation could definitely come out. And there definitely could be, I'm not getting like the Seven of Swords over there, but it could be just someone who wants to sleep with you and doesn't really love you. although they may be a real charmer, so be careful. All right, so this is Scorpio. Scorpio is the Queen of Cups, and then Scorpio also has the Three of Cups reversed. So that's connected to Capricorn that's upright over here, but Scorpio may be on the outs with this Capricorn group. All right, she's coming up reversed here, whereas the Queen of Cups was upright over there. So there's a lot of back and forth here for all of them. This is about picking a new path for Scorpio. This could be overworking or not working, or picking a path isn't working, and this could be the Queen of Cups getting frustrated or crying because they don't know what to do. But this could also be having overworked enough, you're now in full alignment and choosing this new path because you're in full alignment. And this could be someone else outside of Scorpio who may miss you. But this could also just be you crying tears of joy because you're finally finished a project. But I'm getting overall good energy. Even if the Queen of Cups is reversed, it could just be because she's crying. It doesn't have to be negative tears necessarily, and she's upright in the read, and someone's picking a path. And they're done with a project. They're done overworking. Or if someone's still overworking and choosing a path, they maybe are overworking so much, then they're going home and crying because they bit off more than they could chew. And that's funny, chew, because my son's a Scorpio and his nickname is Chew. So that's Scorpio. Let's see what comes up. What else was coming up for Scorpio? All right, so Scorpio is also connected with the Queen of Wands and the King of Pentacles reversed. All right, so Libra could also have Scorpio in their chart. Okay, so there she is upright again, and now the King of Pentacles is reversed, so he may be all about money and greedy, or he's just ungrounded and is not happy with the Queen of Wands and wants to leave, and maybe this is unhappy and he wants to be with this person's crying because he hasn't left her yet, or vice versa. All right, union, home. So that's coming up with Scorpio. Could be rejection and jealousy, a spoiled brat perhaps. Could be just feeling very vulnerable in union, right? Wanting to come into union, but very vulnerable, so very sensitive. Also could be, immaturity may come out when coming to union, right? Because you're insecure at the top with the water signs. So that's also coming out for Scorpio in the awakening, okay? And inequities also. And the fear of inequity and coming into a union when there's so much expectations when there shouldn't be. It's just about one day at a time. The Queen of Swords is there for Pisces. Let's see what she's got. Pisces, Queen of Swords, why? So before Pisces was the Eight of Pentacles upright was Pisces earlier. So now Pisces is the Queen of Swords with the Eight of Pentacles at work. She may be giving a talk at work or to a group at work or just about money in general. But this is looking back or going back, and this has to do with a tower moment. So she may be at work giving a talk about tower moments of the past, how to avoid them at work so things like that don't happen again, or that something bad happened at work physically, like where there was an explosion or any kind of leak of poisonous gases or anything of that nature, or there was a big fight at work and now someone's giving a talk to all the employees about that and looking back, how do we avoid this in the future, or just saying that this won't happen again, or this person left. So it's coming out as a work issue. This is what's coming out next. So again, purging, suffering in silence, stressed out, jealousy, insincerity, disconnected from love altogether, and family. And this could be a family business as well. So that's coming up for Pisces. And the Tower's Taurus, so this could be Pisces with Taurus or related to Taurus in that sense. And then I think the Ten of Pentacles was Leo as well. So Pisces and Leo might be disconnected, and Leo always comes up with Cancer as well. So some kind of connection there. This here could be, she could be speaking about, it could be the Pisces Queen of Swords could just be someone outside of Pisces too who's speaking their truth. Could be doing just a video like I'm doing now, talking about the past and epiphanies and things like that, which is what I do. and the suffering and the issues of the purges, and jealousy and sincerity and no offer of love. But here is the ultimate dream family. So it could just be talking about that stuff, or dealing with explosive issues at work and jealousy at home. All right, at the bottom of the card you see is the world. So that could be completion and jealousy at home. Someone who's just spoiled at home or immature about the divine feminine. It could be their own child. It could be the divine feminine's child feeling rejected, or just missing home if they're not living at home anymore, or away at school. Right? Coming into their own awakening and missing their family or their mom, or that kind of energy. So let's see. Now we have, and by the way, that fifth card down was the world card, the completion, which was just at the bottom of the deck here, which also could be the divine feminine marching to the beat of her own drum. And I just want to tell you these bottom cards real quick before we go, because it's getting a little long. So we have these 4 cards. All right, that was under the fire signs. So this could be someone in need of help, or it could be an opportunist, literally next to the devil reversed. For sure, it could be an opportunist. So watch out for opportunists out there trying to scam you. There's definitely scam energy here. This was under fire, earth, air, and water. This is unhappiness, arrogance, liar, cheater, thief, chaos, and someone in need of help. All right, so there's no good energy for me here. This can just be someone who needs help. It could be a child. It could be someone who has no money and needs a loan, but there's someone who's just waiting to scam you. Or the person who doesn't have the money is the scam artist, because that's the way they learn to be, because they never had anything. So be careful, guys. And there's no fear there. It's just being present with an open heart in every moment, but using your psychic abilities, your discernment as to who you want in your space and who you don't. Who makes you feel good? Who makes you feel like you're questioning their motives? If you question their motives, walk away. All right? That's an easy way to put it. If any question comes up in your mind and it's not a sure thing, because you're not positive this is a nice person, walk away. Then we have the Page of Swords and the King of Pentacles, and letting go in order to repair. This is definitely masculine energy of wanting to make amends, spending some money to fix up the house, or to just make amends and repairs in general, because this can be energetic or time. It doesn't have to be money. He looks like he's fine. He's got plenty of money, and this is about spreading the word. Spreading the word that he's back in business. Maybe he could be fixing up his business. Sending out messages, but just he's definitely spreading the word. Something. This could be a kid who might be taking flyers around for a business owner as well. There's that kind of energy there. And then we have the last 3 cards down there, which is, and again, this is for all signs. So this is someone left out in the cold. So it could be 1 or 2 people. This definitely can represent the masculine and the feminine, injured and out in the cold. Somebody exiled from their church, their business, their school, whatever it is, because of their beliefs. This could be a fight. It can be just sports, but I'm not getting sports right after this. This is destitution and abandonment. It could also just be the love between 2 people, no matter what, right? Even if you're homeless, loving each other through everything. Like the quest for the impossible dreams, that can be that energy. It can be sports. It could be homeless people right next to where there's an athletic field and they're playing games, and these homeless people are just standing there. So maybe someone you can help. And then here's the Hierophant reverse, which is all about spirituality and or breaks in contracts, commitments, divorces, that kind of thing. Thinking outside the box or being alternative in the impossible dream. I'm getting rags to riches here as well. Really beautiful. I'm getting Hieros Gamos. I know it's not upright like God would normally be upright, but because it's spirituality and alternative, I'm getting Hieros Gamos here, and the impossible dream, rags to riches. Wow. Pretty cool. All right, I'm going to let you go. I'm over 2 hours already. Drink your water, get your rest. Be joyful as much as you can. Help someone else if you can't be joyful, because that will help you come into that space of joy. Rise and be loved. Bye.